Oh, hello. You must be here with the investigators here to save my brother. I'm afraid you've just missed them. They're down at the ironworks. Let me get you up to speed on the situation. Last time, the investigators suffered some injuries while fending off a brigand assault on their carriage on the way to Smolandia. They defended themselves without casualties and learned that the brigands had been tipped off about their whereabouts by the cult Venenum Amontes, who also offered a reward for killing them. After taking enough time to recover, they made their way to Herenstam Homestead without further incident. Here they met with their contact, Alfred Herenstam. Alfred filled them in on the situation with his brother August, explaining that ever since August became acquainted with a local priestess, Beata Gideon's daughter, he had been corrupted, caring only about wealth, mistreating his employees, and cutting Alfred out of their family business, threatening to kill Alfred if he ever returned. As Constance was having a private discussion with Alfred, she witnessed a pillar of fire rain down from the sky onto one of the ore-scraping rafts at the nearby ironworks. The investigators rushed to the scene and helped rescue and treat the survivors. Constance tapped into some sort of magical instinct to heal a survivor that was as good as dead. The ironworks' cruel foreman, Swine, spotted Alfred on the property and rushed in to attack him. Galen stepped in the way and bought enough time for Constance to ride off with Alfred on a horse. An imminent fight with Swine was broken up by August and Beata, who invited the investigators to dinner the following day for helping treat the wounded. And this is where the story continues. Good evening, fellow geeks. Welcome back to our next episode of Vaesen. Hope everybody had a lovely holiday break. We're back to do some more adventuring in Smolandia. That was our recap that just happened. Hope you guys caught that. In addition, if you guys would like to catch up on the series, we do post it on YouTube. So if you guys want to catch up with the adventure so far, all those episodes up to today are up online. And this episode will be online starting on Friday. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Before we get too deep into the game, let's go ahead. Let's talk about the awesome players that we have with us this evening. And you guys can tell us a little bit about yourself. You can tell us a little bit about your character and any fun facts that you might want to share. Let's go ahead and start with Bill tonight on the introduction.
Hi, my name is Bill. I'm a podcaster. I have a show called Escape This Podcast, where we solve audio escape rooms with fun guests. We just did a Christmas special. Go and check that out. I also have a show called Solve This Murder, where we do murder mysteries and we try and figure out the mystery as we go. It's so difficult, but so much fun. I'm playing Garland Verschere, who is previously some other name, whatever my name used to be, Johan Bostrom. I change my name on this channel sometimes.
All the time.
All the time. Fun fact about Galen. He doesn't smoke cigars. Why? You might ask, would one of the richest people in Sweden not want to smoke cigars? Well, it's a tragic story. For all of you Swedish history buffs out there, you may know that the palace building for the Royal Dramatic Theatre in Sweden burned down in 1825. If you don't believe me, you can look it up. It's a piece of fun Swedish history. People don't know why it burned down. Galen does. He was a young man, and it was the first time he had tried a cigar. And he didn't like it, and he threw it away, and it landed in the curtain of the booth that he was in watching the theater, which quickly caught fire and set the entire building ablaze. Nobody else knows except for him and all of you. And now you're in on the secret that Galen was the one who burned down the Royal Theatre in Sweden in 1825.
Yeah.
And so from that day on, he has never smoked another cigar.
That is fantastic. How great. Probably good for his long-term health, you know? It worked out.
Awesome. But he just 100 cigarettes a day, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's fine then. Excellent. Thanks, Bill. Glad to have you here tonight. Let's go with Ed next.
Amazingness. All right, let's see here. My name is Ben, a TTRPG for About 12 years now, I think. I play games. I write for games when I can. I GM games. I watch other people play games. So if you want to talk TTRPGs, hit me up. Join our Discord. We can talk all day. My character, on the other hand, is vastly interesting. Katrina Nordenflicht. She is an officer of the military, not the law. And I assume the military. That's what I've been playing, but now sudden things are now making me question that. Anyways, she is very she's kind of an older woman, a little bit severe, but she has good reason to be. When she was younger, she joined the military and was in her first battle. She actually got afraid and ran. And she came back, turned herself in, was flogged for fleeing, but ended up serving the rest of her time. So that's your fun fact for Katrina. The fun facts were supposed to be for the characters, right, Chase? All right,
Yeah.
cool. That's
Also,
it.
Flogged for Fleeing is my favorite early noughties indie rock band.
Flogged for fleeing. Fantastic. Glad to have you. Thank you. Constance/Tori, why don't you go ahead and give us your introduction next?
Yeah, hi, I'm Tori. You can follow me at Twitter if you want, at ToriFika, and I live here at Level 1 Geek, where I play games and occasionally run games, and that's all about me. I am playing Constance Doyle. She is the private investigator for this crew of investigators. So does that make her like a super investigator? Maybe. She is let's see, my fun fact for the day. I was thinking about swimming since we're by a lake in this particular mystery, which Chase has already recapped, but I think you know, in the 1800s they were very strict about modesty and particularly women's modesty while swimming. And I think that Constance has been arrested before for indecent exposure while swimming. Not that she's out there in the nude, but just she doesn't want to mess with all of the skirts and the high collars and stuff while you're in the water. It's just like heavy and inconvenient. So she just kind of has resorted to some more practical swimwear. But not everyone appreciates that kind of show of impropriety. And that is my fun fact.
Fantastic. I love it. Thank you very much. And you clarified it for sharing character facts. I'm just curious now. Did you for a moment think that Bill had burned down a theater with a cigarette?
No, I just thought maybe Bill's mystery podcast was his fun fact.
Ooh, good point.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's funny. Very good. All right, last but not least, Matt, why don't you tell us about your character and yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Matt. You can find me everywhere as Improv and D&D, and I am playing Robert Wong, the servant to Mr. Gerlin Fosquera, who is all about getting the job done, typically with his fists. Now, one thing is that oftentimes when he goes into combat, into battle, he has his long sleeves, which would protect his forearms typically, and of course he's got his hands wrapped, but he has quite a few scars that are around the wrists and forearms, and these
Forearms!
always yeah, he'll always tell people that they're from fights early on because they've mostly faded. But as a matter of fact, back when he was still courting a very special lady, he had well, he tried to impress her by baking things, and he was very bad at this, and he never had the grace to properly maneuver into the oven, the baking sheet and whatnot, and so oftentimes he would burn himself on his forearms, And so he has like a good dozen or so of these burns that he masquerades as being old battle wounds that were simply due to many failed muffins and cookies.
That's the true battle.
That is,
Yeah.
it's the battle of the hearts.
Oh, that's so good. Fantastic. Thank you, Matt. Glad to have you here with us tonight. Yeah, that is our awesome group of characters for this campaign. I'm Chase, also part of the Level 1 Geek team. I'm the GM for this campaign, and I guess I've been sharing GM facts just to, I want to be involved in these fact-sharing things. So here's a random one. My first gaming system was Pathfinder 2e, and my first class was a cleric, and it died in 2 sessions. So there's that. And I still stuck around. It was wonderful.
They were trying to get rid of you.
Yeah, didn't work.
Couldn't
though.
take the hint.
I then played the
character
cleric's
dies.
mom as my second character.
I love that.
Yeah, it was a good time. All right, yeah, so that's us. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'd also just like to give a shout out. We have Katie in the background with Level 1 Geek. She's running production. She's going to be chatting with you guys in chat. She's going to be keeping an eye on your chat interactions. So big thank you to Katie for doing that for us. And then a huge thank you to all of you, chat, because I saw that there was a hype train going before we even officially started our stream tonight, just while we were on the starting scene screen. So huge thank you. We already have like what is this? 3, 6, 8, 10 sponsors. You guys are crazy. That's got to be a new record.
Too
It's
much.
got to be a
all
sponsor
this
to time
new
record.
year energy.
Yeah,
It
right.
is.
So much love to you guys. We appreciate you guys supporting what we love to do. So thank you so much. Speaking of supporting us, we like to give a little bit back. We like to let you guys interact with the stream. So in case you guys aren't aware, we do have some fun things for you guys to interact with as we're playing tonight. If you're giving oh my gosh, I'm mixing up my words. If you're giving out subscriptions tonight, like you guys have been, those translate into sponsorships in game for us, and you can sponsor one of our investigators. That's what these little tally marks up by everybody's name. Patreon supporters, you guys can also shout out and give out some sponsorships. These are going to give you little shout outs at the beginning of the stream in the form of a little bit of flashback role playing about your name. We make up some kind of fun NPC based off of your Twitch name. And that's what we've been doing for the last few sessions. So we'll be doing those in a moment for last session. And for those of you who sponsored today, we'll catch you next session. So make sure you tune in for your thank you. Also, we have these bless and curse dice. You guys can get those with your channel points. Those are basically just dice in a pool that any of our players can pull from. The blessed dice, no strings attached. They add extra dice to a roll. And they will, in theory, help players out, though I'm surprised at the amount of times you guys have rolled like 1,000,000 dice and still failed. And then the curse dice are the exact same thing, except if you succeed, then I get to twist the situation a little bit in a cursed kind of way, whether that be minor or major, depending on the roll. And then we typically have some community goals going up each mystery, but you guys just smashed those goals this time. So last session, those were completed. So we'll be adding an extra ally and adversary into this mystery from you guys redeeming those. So yeah, big thank you for your support. Hope you guys have fun with the interactions. Also, just a couple other thank yous I'd like to shout out. Big thanks to Knights of the Steel. They do an app called NPC for Hire, and all of our character art that you can see here is from the NPC for Hire app. You guys can check that out. It's a free app on either Apple or Android store, and you can generate some awesome art for your various NPCs in your campaign. Big recommend. And yeah, I think that's it for thank yous. So why don't we finish this off by let's go around and let's talk about the sponsorships from last time. You guys can tell us how these sponsors have helped you do a little bit of flashback roleplay. Right now, you guys are heading back to the Harnstem homestead, but you could have met these NPCs and gotten some help in the past. So Em, why don't we start with you tonight? We'll randomly go to you.
All right. So I'm going to say that I think that a couple of other people actually got sponsored by the person that sponsored me. I think it was Robert and Constance, if I remember correctly. So I want to say that Robert and Constance actually found Katrina reading a letter that she uses as a bookmark. And it's old and it's worn. And she's wiping away a tear before she looks up, and she wants to read you a line from this letter. And it just speaks to the younger woman that Katrina was, and how there was so much ahead of her, and that she shouldn't give up. She shouldn't quit the military. That as long as she keeps trying, as long as she keeps pushing herself, she'll get to where she needs to be. Signed, your truly funniest friend, Uncle Tai Tai. Thanks, True Funny, for the extra push. I get a free push during this session.
Yes.
That means that you get to re-roll a roll, basically keeping any 6s you rolled previously, and you won't take a condition for it. Good stuff. All right, let's go to Robert next. Robert, why don't you tell us about your sponsorships this evening?
Great. So I'd say, I mean, in this case, hearing about how motivating this Uncle Tai Tai is, Robert decides to seek him out, maybe clandestinely. And I'd imagine that in this situation, he might stumble upon Uncle Tai Tai having taken to the stage and delivering a joke or two. And this is something that's completely beyond Robert's forte. And seeing how well he carried himself, how well, not only when the jokes did land, but when they didn't land, how well he was able to recover. I mean, Robert feels like if that happened to him, he would just get angry and storm off. But he asks Uncle Tai Tai, True Funny, how to deal with all this. How do you keep going? And he, in a way, takes him under his wing for a little bit. He tries in just like a very small private setting, but he learns. And I'd imagine, like, leading up to this, just writing a letter back and forth, he receives just a little telegram that says, don't forget, if you fall, you have to get back up. And so when I have the chance to fail, to fall, I'll get a free push as well. Thank you, True Funny.
Woohoo! How inspiring, this Uncle Tai Tai.
Yes.
I love
Good
it.
boy.
All right, let's keep this train rolling. Galen, why don't you tell us about your sponsorships this evening?
Well, I don't have anything from Uncle Tai Tai. Fair enough. You may remember from last session, I have a crowbar in my possession, which I got because a friend of the group, but also a terrible rogue wombat tried to steal from me and failed miserably. I scared them off, and I took the crowbar from them. And now I'm still annoyed about it, to be honest. It still bothers me. I wanna find him and give him back this crowbar the old-fashioned way. And that anger is fueling me. So at some point, I'm sure, when something is going wrong and I really need to push my dice roll and I need to move forward, I will be sustained by my anger towards Wombat. And I'll find a new surge of energy, which will allow me to get a free push. I would like to question mechanically. This gives us a free push. Does that mean I can basically take a push without taking a condition?
Yep, that's right.
Which for people, a push is like usually you re-roll, but you basically take damage to try a skill a second time. I can now try a skill a second time, and it doesn't cost me anything because I'm fueled not by physical exertion, but by the mental determination to find Wombat and hit him with this crowbar one day.
Can't get the angry condition if you're already angry, right?
Can't get the angry condition.
Fantastic. I love it. All right, last but not least, let's go over our most sponsored last session, Constance. Why don't you tell us about all the love that you got?
Yeah. So I got I also was sponsored by the Wombat. And the wombat, my relationship with the wombat, like many others, has been kind of mysterious and not very clear what the wombat's motives are exactly. But this time around, we'll say there was a package waiting for me at the homestead where we're staying. It was delivered just ahead of us, and retconning slightly here, but Constance opened it, and it is I got a free item. So Constance got a crystal ball. She's not entirely sure what to make of that, but she has that now. And then she also has had a correspondence with True Funny. However, their relationship it's more one of they enjoy exchanging clever and amusing like riddles and like word puzzles. And True Funny is sort of she just likes to basically exchange brain teasers with True Funny, and they go back and forth trying to kind of stump each other. Usually all the ones from True Funny end up being some sort of pun or like some sort of joke, with a punchline at the end that you don't get until you figure it out. So she's got a new letter from True Funny, and I think on the way here, she finally figured out what it was. And that's lifted her spirits a little bit. So she's going to be able to draw on that reminder to just maybe sometimes not take things so seriously. Sometimes it's okay to just laugh and enjoy something simple like a funny word puzzle.
Fantastic. I love those. Good stuff. Big thank you to all of our sponsors, and a big thank you to our sponsors this time. We'll make sure we get you guys in a little bit of role play next session.
I can't believe you do puzzles in your spare time, you nerd. Well,
Yeah, who does that?
Puzzles. Puzzles, I hate them.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that is all of our pregame stuff. So if everybody is ready, why don't we go ahead and let's jump back into the present, into our mystery. We left off last time as you guys were leaving the burning ironworks. Well, the ironworks weren't burning, but the raft on the lake was. You guys saved some survivors. You guys had a meeting with August and Beata, who invited you to dinner tomorrow night. And Constance, you had been gone before that happened. You rode off into the night with August, or with Alfred, to keep him safe from August and Swine. And that's where
you could have renamed the character.
I could have.
You're not bound. You're not bound by the rule. Like, you're allowed some creative license. You could have been like, wait a minute.
I am, but
I'm going to call him Wambo, and then we would have been like, great. No one's going to forget Wambo.
Lesson learned for the future. I'm just going to put an August in every adventure now.
Yeah, we need it now. Yes, now you've committed to an all August campaign.
Yep, exactly. Oh man. All right. So yeah, Constance, you're separated from the group currently with Alfred, and the rest of you, I think we're heading back as well. It is the middle of the night right now.
Yeah.
So what are y'all doing?
Well, I think you're right. I think once we've been sort of unceremoniously booted from the ironworks, I think Galen is just okay. So that didn't go super well. I know we didn't plan to come down here. It was very spur of the moment, but maybe like we got a dinner invitation. This seems like a good first step for tomorrow. Are we all feeling okay about how this went? I know, how creepy was that big guy? Did you see his face?
Swine.
Yeah, yes, and his name is Swine. What kind of a name is Swine?
And he had the
I know I have a very silly
one.
name. Yes. I mean, I don't know.
I wonder if it is a nickname rather than God-given.
Maybe. I would hope so. It would be a bad mother who would call her child Swine.
Rude.
But look, I don't know if there's anything we should do except try and find Constance and August, and I think a dinner invitation is our best next step. Do we agree, or do we want to come in the morning? If anyone has a plan to investigate or do something else before the dinner, I would be very open to it. But for now, I'm very tired, and I have been hit in the face. And you were dragging people out of a lake.
I was
think we should go to
shot
bed."
right here.
You were shot. We need to go to sleep. What are you doing out of bed?
There was a lake of fire.
There was a ray of fire destroyed a lake. The heavens struck the lake and killed multiple people. I think it is time for us to sleep and recuperate.
Now, I didn't want to say anything in front of Constance. This is perhaps the time to do it.
Oh, yes, she is gone. Let us talk freely about all of our secrets.
Did you see how she healed that man? I had assessed him. That man what happened? That man was going to die, and then it was as if she were possessed. She started working with vigor and an accuracy that I have not seen in all of my years.
Do you think there was something supernatural about this?
Oh, well, have you ever known Constance to bandage a wound?
No, Constance usually laughs at the fallen. She mocks them for their injuries and says
It's a
they
little-
are weak. They
it's
are
a
weak
little-
for having lost the fight.
I have seen her mock perhaps a drunken person, but
She turns to them and she says, "Your wounds are your own fault, and you should stop complaining. If you were
Robert.
strong like me, you would never have suffered these things."
Robert, have you witnessed such things?
What? And like during this conversation, this back and forth, Robert has been tracking that foreman the entire
Mhm.
time, like just keeping an eye to see where he went. Because any transgression against his lord is a transgression against Robert, and he plans to issue some payback eventually.
Yeah, and you probably do see him watching you all as you leave, just kind of sitting on the edge of the ironworks until you guys are a good ways away. And then yeah, you do see a building that he goes into. You're not
This is
sure if
Swine?
it's
The special
Yeah.
swine building?
you're not sure if it's his home or not. It does look more of like a farmhouse than an industrial type building like some of the others.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Show us on the map, Jace.
Show us
Yeah,
the
let's
map,
take you-
Chase.
Let's take you back over to the
Chase,
ironworks.
I
You
just
see him
want to see the map.
Oh my gosh, I just tabbed over to Foundry and Swine's face was just right there.
Jump scare.
Yeah, you see him about going right there.
Okay.
The farmhouse mechanically.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Good to know.
Swine lives.
Alright.
I'm putting that in my notes.
Uh-huh.
Swine
It's
lives
relevant.
in the farmhouse.
Whoa,
Oh,
we gonna
ignore
see
this.
inside?
Don't worry about that.
No.
Don't even worry about that. That's
Secret.
not
Got
for
some
you.
Spoilers, baby.
I've
yeah,
never seen that from Constance either, but that could be useful.
Yes, although if she is hiding some kind of mystical power from us, this is not a good sign. I do not want a repeat of other moments in my life. I do not need someone who is. How much do we know about Constance? Has
Well,
anyone ever
she's-
seen her age? While we have been friends, has anyone seen her grow older? Katrina, you must talk with Constance
She has-
about woman things. Does she
she-
dye her hair?
She has a rigorous facial cleansing system day and night. She's flawless when it comes to wrinkles.
It sounds
But
like we
also
should keep
she's
an eye
like
on her.
20.
Yes.
So she says.
So she said, how long has she been 20?
Right.
This is the questions we must ask. Everybody, do not mention any of this to Constance.
Robert.
I am 25 by lore on my character sheet.
Robert, I do believe the blood loss has made me delirious. Could I lean on your arm?
Yes, of course.
Wait, you were shot with a cannon. No, just a bullet.
What?
You shot the cannon.
You shot the cannon.
It's okay.
It's been 2 weeks, folks.
I'm so sorry. I do not have my horse here. Constance has left with the horse. By of course, in very, but with my permission. I mean,
Of
no ill
course.
will to Constance, but
Right.
we may have to walk
Yes.
slowly back. I
Yes.
am old. You are short. Robert, you may have to drag us both.
No problem.
Just let's agree to keep an eye on Constance for any
Yes.
other possessions.
Yes.
And as you are suspiciously and slowly walking back. Speaking of Constance, you're riding back on a horse with Alfred. What are you up to?
I'm mid-sentencing. I don't know what I would do without my friends. I just trust them with everything I am. And I would never, ever hold a secret from them, ever in my life. I hope they feel the same about me. No, I'm not saying anything of the sort.
So I shouldn't tell your friends that you are in fact a demon. I'll leave that out when I talk to them next, shall I? You keep complaining to me about all the death and how ugly those dying people were. Would you like me not to tell them about this?
Constance is shook. So I think they left in a flurry and like it was chaotic and dangerous and she was stressed about swine and then maybe getting beat up or shot at or getting Alfred beat up or shot at. So I think for a while they just ride like fast.
Who's riding the horse and who's sitting on the back?
Well, Constance grabbed the horse first, so I assume Constance is like riding and Alfred's hanging on.
Alfred is sitting side saddle at the back.
Because I feel like it would have been a needless waste to like, oh, come on, Alfred. No, oh, hang on. Let's just hang on, swine. Let me just swap places real quick with Alfred so we can ride off dramatically.
Yeah.
But after we get like safely away. Yes, I don't think I shall be forgetting his face anytime soon.
That's the one I was talking about, the foreman. It was very brave of Galen to step in the way like that. Thank you for getting me to safety.
I'm so sorry. I feel responsible for putting you in that situation in the first place. And, well, I should have thought more carefully. I'm very sorry to have endangered you that way. It just all happened so fast. I mean, fire was raining from the sky. I thought you could be helpful, and you were. Don't get me wrong. It was good to have you there helping direct people, but well, I apologize. I'm so sorry.
It was the right thing to do. I'm glad I joined you. But you see there, nobody in their right mind should keep somebody like that employed.
How long has Swine been in his employ? Is this a recent addition, or?
Shortly after that, Beata Gideon's daughter showed up. Do you think that Swine could be something supernatural as well? Maybe some sort of demon summoned by Beata?
I don't feel I have enough information to weigh in on something like that, but at this time, at least. I will say, though, if he is not supernatural, he is certainly some kind of brute, at the very least.
Never seen with a man with that kind of strength.
So he's not from here, then? You didn't know him growing up, or know him around town or anything?
Heavens, no. I would never employ somebody like that as long as we were running the business together. I was against his hiring in the first place, but August insisted.
And did you get cut out of things because of your disagreement about Swine, or was that just one of many on a list of things?
Just more on the list.
Hmm.
We stopped seeing eye to eye as soon as she showed up, about many things.
I see. Well, there's a lot to unpack here, and if I'm being perfectly honest, I feel frayed at the ends at this moment. It's been a long journey, and so much has happened just this night, and I think I just need to get myself sorted before trying to make sense of any of this. That's all I can really offer at this time.
That's fine. Let us go back and rest. Very heroic actions today, Miss Constance. Thank you.
I don't know if that's Thank you, I guess.
And at this point, you were riding straight back to the house, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You guys arrive a bit ahead of everybody else on horseback, so you're there at the house a bit before, and you see everybody tailing up.
He offered. There were cots in like the living room or like living area, and then he had offered his bed as well, right?
Cots is too fancy. They were bedrolls.
Okay, bedrolls, and then he'd offered his bed
Mhm.
to someone. Okay. Since Constance gets there first, she's going to. Oh no, I guess we put Katrina already in the bed because you guys were sleeping when all this happened, right? Because Katrina had been shot, so we had put her upstairs.
But she's not there
Okay.
now.
Yeah, but all her stuff's there probably, and maybe there's blood on the bed sheets and it's gross. I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
You got shot in the arm.
Goodness.
All right, then I think Constance she'll just go inside and she'll say this is going to sound quite imprudent of me, I expect, but would you mind just sitting near me while I try to fall asleep? I don't feel quite right. I think it's just the stress of everything, but it would just help me a great deal to know that someone normal is around.
Oh, not at all. Of course. It's been a long night with some strange happenings, and I'm sure in your field you see some odd things. I would be happy to. I don't think I can sleep anyways.
Thank you. And she'll just kind of curl up on her cot, and I think she'll, like, if he is okay with it, I think she'll just hold his hand while she falls asleep.
Yeah, he'll go grab some hay and like pile it up against the wall for something to sit on. He'll just kind of sit up along the wall and he'll hold her hand.
All right, then I think Constance is out pretty quickly. Maybe before you guys get there.
Yeah. You guys get there with August sitting next to Constance holding her hand as she's asleep.
Alfred.
Alfred, my goodness.
I know there's too many of them. Well, yeah, I'm happy to just head back, and Galen will just fall asleep on his.
Okay. All right. So
is that a bread?
This is a bedroll. Yeah. You get
Yeah.
it?
Mm-hmm.
a bed
Bread
roll.
But it's a bed. This is my bedroll. All right, I'll take it back. Go back.
Fantastic. All right. Anybody else want to do anything? Or are we going to go just to resting?
I think we can do something in the morning. We're all dead.
All right.
Let's
So
do it.
as you guys are sleeping, Katrina, it's a pretty uncomfortable sleep. It's quite hot, quite uncomfortable, and you feel yourself fighting to fall asleep. And as you do, you feel something drip on your forehead, like a cold little drip of water.
Thanks. Okay. With a small frown, she'll dab at it and then look at her hand.
Yeah, as you dab at it, it burns. Like it is scorching hot as you dab at it. And as you pull your hand away and look at it, it looks shiny, like a very bright shimmering gold. And as you open your eyes, you see suddenly there is just a cascade of molten metal pouring from the ceiling that just pours over your body, and it burns, and you can feel your flesh starting to blister and melt. And then you wake up with a gasp. And
screaming.
Make me a fear roll.
Okay, I'm by myself, aren't I?
Yeah, everybody
because
else
I
is
took
asleep.
the nice bed.
Yeah, you don't have
What
anyone
is-
holding your hand.
What is this? Empathy?
Empathy or logic, your choice.
2 versus 3. We'll go with 3. We have dice. We got dice in our pool.
We
We
got
have
4
6
blessed
cursed.
and 6 cursed.
Yes.
Yeah, but
gonna
I'm
take-
saving those. I'm saving those for a future roll, so you can't use
Okay.
any.
All right, sounds good. Here we go with 3.
No, please use my plus dice.
Oh!
Oh,
Dang.
I didn't need
Fantastic.
him.
Look at that, 2 successes. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Pretty good.
you know it was just a nightmare as soon as you wake up, but it was still startling all the same.
Ow. Mm.
Everybody else is still sleeping. You guys might wake up briefly if you hear her screaming.
It's like
My
one
hearing's not good
short
enough.
yell, then calm.
I think Constance wakes up like with a start and then does the like frozen in bed, like listening for more kind of thing. Like, what was it? Okay.
There's probably a thump as Katrina like gets out of bed and gets a writing utensil from her bag, and she's going to write down every detail she can remember about the dream in case there's a clue.
August is now curled up in the fetal position, just dead
Alfred.
asleep above you. Alfred. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've
Alfred's
ever
dead
messed a
above
name
us.
up so bad.
I think it doesn't help too that my last boyfriend was August. So
Oh goodness.
We're just
Alfred,
gonna wait
Alfred,
until one of these is
Alfred,
incredibly
Alfred.
helpful for us.
he's
then
just
just
curled
catch
up
him
in
like,
he's
"No,
just
no,
curled up
no."
on the floor in the
Just curled
hay.
up on the floor in the hay.
Oh,
Oh,
poor Alfred.
goodness.
Excellent. All right. So I think you guys have already all taken your rest recovery for the day. So you guys won't recover anything through the night here.
Okay.
Unless if anybody did not ever take their rest and wants to, you can take your rest now.
Well, can't you just take your rest? You just clear a condition.
You cleared 2 if it's your rest for the day, but I think most of you already took yours.
I
I
definitely
don't
did.
remember.
Like we had to roll something to see if we got the 2,
Katrina
right?
and Robert definitely had to because they were resting and it was very hot and uncomfortable. And I think
I don't know
Constance
if I did. Did I?
Galen might have taken it in the carriage.
Well, I don't think I did because I was trying to talk to Galen because they
That's
were
true.
napping in the carriage. And then I had a terrible nightmare about
Mhm.
Galen burning up.
Yeah,
I
if
don't
you
know
haven't
if that was
taken,
restful.
yeah, I'll trust your
You're
guys'
having visions of
judgment.
fire. That is interesting that you had a vision of fire that we assumed was from taking the chain from
That's true.
the cultist. And we were like, oh, well,
Yeah.
that's clearly the explanation for her crazy fire dreams.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe a mystical powers. But now Katrina has had a fire dream as well.
melting
a
dream,
molten
yeah.
dream. But also maybe that's just because, we went to a fiery ironworks. Maybe it's nothing supernatural at all.
Maybe.
But that is an interesting thing. I thought it was from the chain, but maybe it's just from the area.
Mhm.
We'll
So
see
do I
if
have
one
to
of us
roll a
has
thing
fire
to
dream.
rest, Chase?
Yeah, so normally a rest will give you 2 conditions cleared. Do you have 2
but
conditions?
because I only have one.
All right, so you don't have to worry about rolling because you'll at least get 1.
Okay.
Because it's an uncomfy rest, but a rest nonetheless.
I have an angry nap. I have an angry sleep, and then I wake up and I feel better.
Shit.
Fantastic. All right. Yeah. No other incident happens through the night, and you guys wake up in the morning. August is up before the rest of you.
Alfred is up.
Alfred. Oh my goodness.
We
I
don't
just said, like,
know.
7
Maybe
times,
we're
you know?
flashing forward to
August
the
might
iron.
Yeah.
be.
I'm
might
gonna
be
say
up
August,
before
and you
us.
guys aren't gonna believe me. You're gonna be like, no, it's Alfred.
August woke up early. With swamp,
Alfred is up
and here's
early.
what they said.
And he's out front cooking just a very pitiful breakfast of like a couple eggs
Oh,
and some stale bread. Just scrapping some stuff together in a little cooking pot.
I want to find Katrina.
Katrina's in her room.
I'll Constance.
You
will
don't
get
have
up
rooms.
and-
This is a 1-room house. This is
Oh.
a tiny
Oh, you're
one
just in
bed,
the bed.
multiple bedroom. Yeah.
I'm in the bed.
Oh, okay. I'll go over to Katrina then.
Okay.
Or wait, it's upstairs. I thought you said.
Oh no, there's no upstairs. It's 1 floor,
got
1
it.
room.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. How did you sleep? I thought I heard you cry out.
Terrible dreams. I was going to ask everyone actually over breakfast how you all slept. Do I have a scar on my forehead?
She doesn't.
No, it looks the same.
I dreamed of hot metal dripping onto my forehead, and then it dumped over me, setting me ablaze. It was terrible, terrible.
We should find out if Colin and Robert have had any strange dreams involving fire. I also had something of the sort, not pouring melted metal all over me, mind you, but I did have a dream about someone burning up in an inferno. It was very upsetting.
Well, we saw terrible things yesterday.
Yes, but perhaps these could be connected and some sort of clue.
We should look to see if there are any Vaesen that cause nightmares of this sort.
That's a good point.
Yes, perhaps we should tell Garland about this.
Mm-hmm.
I guess since he's right over there in this same room.
I'm still asleep.
Garland,
You can wake
okay.
me up.
Robert, would you
Yeah.
mind waking Garland? We have some.
Have you been
What we
saying
think
it
is-
Galen? I've been saying Galen.
To be honest, I feel like he changes the pronunciation every time he says it, and I'm not quite certain how he wants me to
I
say
think
it.
we all should get on the
All
same
right,
page.
before he wakes up, then let's all agree.
We should decide.
Okay.
And
I'll
then
be-
we'll not respond to anything but the first.
Yes.
Robert, what do you want?
I'll be honest with you. I just say Mr. Foscara. So
Okay, it's up to us then.
I thought it was for scare.
oh. All right.
If you're already
I'll say
saying
that.
Galen, I can say Galen. That's quite an
Galen.
easy
All
change.
right. Okay.
And then for
Mr.
Scare,
Forscare?
for Scary,
Yeah, I can
Forscare.
say that.
sounding more exotic by the moment.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
he
sure
made
he'd
it up,
love
and it is
that.
Galen we're talking about. It's probably
This is true.
exotic.
All right, as long as
Yes.
we're all in agreement, it's Galen
Yes.
for Scary. All right,
Scary.
Yeah.
then would you mind waking Galen, please, Robert? I don't think he would take kindly to me doing it.
All right. And then I'm gonna go over and like just do a gentle tap on the shoulder. It's fine. It's okay.
Oh.
You're here. We're here.
All right.
Galen.
Yes, I am here. Glenn Fourscare. I'm here. Okay. Oh, all right. So, did everybody? How is everybody feeling? Are we all good?
Are you all right, Galen? Did you have a nightmare?
A nightmare? No, I did not have a nightmare.
Oh,
I dreamed.
did you dream of anything burning or fire or
No.
molten metal?
No, I dreamed a dream in times gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. Then I was young and unafraid, and dreams
Yes,
were made.
yes,
and
I think
used and
I've heard
wasted.
this one
There was
before,
no
and
ransom
we-
to be paid, no song unsung, no wine untasted.
Galen,
But-
we have information. Focus.
Okay, sorry, where were we? Yes.
I'm picturing now that this Galen goes off into this little monologue quite often.
Every morning.
This is his recurring dream.
Wakes up with bursts into poetry.
It seems that Katrina and I have both recently had dreams involving extreme heat and burning. I, for one, dreamt,
Well,
and this is nothing personal at all, directed to you at all in the least, but I had a dream that you burst into flames in front of my eyes, Galen.
oh yes, I'm assuming this was a good dream for you. An enjoyable, happy dream of an old man bursting into flames. No, I understand.
And
I get
Katrina's dream, well, I'll let you describe it.
Like she didn't even comment.
I was consumed with molten metal.
Well, I mean, look, solely these dreams make sense. We were at a ironworks during a fire. If you both have had fiery dreams afterwards, I mean, surely this is
This was before my dream. It was on the way here.
before.
Do you think this could be some sort of clue about what we're dealing with?
I mean, I do not know, but I have my books with me. I could look through to see if there is any I mean, it is not outside the realm of possibility that the Vaesen could make us see visions of flame or fire, or perhaps this is what the priestess does. I do not know. We saw her eyes the other day, gold and the
Yes,
same
what sort
eyes.
of metal was it, Katrina?
What sort of metal was it, Katrina? That melted
Was
upon
it
you?
was it a golden
I'm-
color?
Was it gold?
It was shimmering and it was dark. And let me try and recall. Chase.
I think it was gold.
Was it
What
was
type
it
of metal
molten
was
gold?
this?
Yeah, why don't you do me a observation?
I wrote it down. I wrote it down
Right,
when
vigilant.
the dream was fresh.
Oh, you wrote it down
I
when the dream was
wrote down-
fresh?
Yeah, I said I got up immediately and I wrote down all the details about the dream.
Okay, it seemed golden.
It was golden.
I mean, this could be
Alfred,
something.
do they mine gold here? In your metalworks? I thought you were iron or steel.
Just iron. There's no gold here.
Well, look, I will look into it. I will start my day. Perhaps I will try and investigate into these dreams to see if there is a connection to the amulet, to the woman, to any Vaesen, even to the old beast of the lake. I know we have
Oh
time
my-
before dinner. If anyone has other investigations to do.
Galen,
You-
as you're reading, I
Yes.
completely forgot in all of the
Yes.
chaos of last night. But as everything was happening, I noticed on the far side of the lake, there was a small area where the water was bubbling and boiling and steaming. And then it
Bubbling.
was gone.
We do know that this lake is the burial ground for an ancient creature, according to myth. But maybe there is something localized in that area. If we came back to the lake, do you think you could find exactly where it was?
Yes, I do think
Just
I can
say-
recall.
if you just say
it was
yes,
in,
it is
it was
canon.
in the southeast corner. I did write it down.
Oh,
I
good.
think I could try and investigate that area.
It may be worth, if we could get out there before dinner, it would be, we would have to sneak around the ironworks, but I mean, I do not think it would be easy to get unnoticed into the middle of the open lake, but if it is possible, it could be something to look into.
Well, as I
Look,
recall, it was near the shore, right? Chase, it was kind of by the southeast shore line.
Yeah, in fact,
Okay.
here I can show you guys. It was, so this is the ironworks, right? It was down here.
It was on the far side. It'd be quite a trip
Ah.
around,
Oh,
but
beautiful.
possible.
Alfred,
Yeah.
there is a local legend, Alfred, not
Yeah.
August, about a cave where a beast was trapped. Could you tell me if there is a location around this lake where that cave may be? Perhaps children speak of it, or tales by the fire in winter?
About a beast.
No, about where a cave would be along the lake that people would be avoiding.
Maybe like
Let me think about that one. Me and August used to go exploring when we were children, but that's a
Did you-
time long gone. We saw many
Did you guys
caves.
ever find anything strange in your explorations?
Not that I can recall, but I'll think on it.
Is there a
Hmm.
way across the lake? Or are the only watercraft those mining rafts they had out there?
Are there any craft aside from the ore rafts?
Yes, is there any passage across the lake, or is the only way to walk all the way around?
Oh, the lake is so shallow now one can walk across it, but aside from the ore rafts, aside from
Oh, the whole
occasion-
thing is that shallow? Okay, wow.
Have you played Elden Ring? Have you been to the Lake of Liurnia? It's like this.
Have you considered just riding your horse?
You can just ride your horse and then you avoid all of those really big kind of crab guys. You know, the crayfish, you don't have to fight them at all. You can just ride past.
I see.
Here's a ring. It will summon a horse for you.
Elden
There
Ring, not a
used to
sponsor.
used to be fishing boats out on the lake, but not since it's so dried up. I suppose I do recall one cave that me and August found a long time ago. We used to pretend to go fight beasts in it.
Where was that?
On the other side of the lake.
Could
Pull out your
he
map,
describe? Yeah.
Constance.
Was it right
About
here?
Where the bubbling was?
You have a map, Constance?
Yes.
Yes,
we
we
have.
definitely
I
do.
would
We
have brought
researched
them.
the
I mean,
place
Here's-
beforehand.
Can I describe, like, it was like there was a, small cove or something, and like, could I just sort of describe the
Across from
area
the
where I
island,
saw-
Hogo.
Yeah, well, I don't know that's what it's called, but across from some island, I'll just try and describe what he's talking about. If he doesn't know, then he could come with me maybe, and we could cross-reference.
I'd have to go take a look at it. It was a long time ago. We were just boys.
Okay. All right. Well,
I
it
could maybe
seems
take you there if I went out searching for it.
seems like that's a logical task for me today, to investigate the bubbling and the cave.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Look, if we do all split up and try and maybe get something investigative done before this dinner, I'm happy to stay here and research. I have my old scrolls with me. If you wanted to check out the bubbling on the lake, that would be a very wise next step. Do we have any other leads to follow that we could follow today? Anything to do with Beata or her amulets or things that happen? Does anyone have any ideas as to other forms of investigation?
I feel as if the investigation on Beata will happen at dinner tonight.
It's very
You're
well
going
may,
to
but-
dinner with her.
Oh yes, we are going to dinner.
We think that it will be a good time to make an assessment ourselves.
Be careful of that woman, I'm warning you.
We are always careful.
Robert, you have
Yes.
with you a very strong poison, do you not? And we are heading to a dinner.
Right.
Are you saying this in front of Alfred?
Alfred, please block your ear.
I'll give you all some privacy.
Yes, we are in a planning
I'll meet
meeting.
you outside when I'm ready to go. How
Yes.
about, can you perhaps check on the horse and make sure it's all right from everything last night?
Am I okay to take your horse out? Is it yours, Constance?
Galen, maybe take the horse today.
You may take Mumbles. I just saw in my note that his name is Mumbles. You may take him. I will not be leaving.
Thank you. I wish I had my own, but they've all died.
Oh, yes, we'll do
Oh,
not
how
kill this
tragic.
one.
I'll go prep
yes.
the horse.
Yes. Now, while you are
Excellent.
out, we could poison everybody, right? We've got a lot
What?
of poison,
I don't want to
could-
be poisoned.
but we could go to dinner. We could just poison the shit out of everything.
Well, I have one.
Galen, what's
strong
gotten into you? First you're buying a cannon, now you're suggesting we poison everyone at dinner.
I have become wealthy and therefore lost all ethics.
Galen, have you ever murdered anyone in Prague?
I didn't murder Gregor in Prague, is what I have
Garen,
said. But no, look, I do not know if this is something we want to think about, but it is something we have on the table. If there are, like, this could be a trap. Last time we were there, we were attacked. I know it was via proxy for defending Alfred, but
Mhm.
still, we do not know how dangerous these people are, and
Mm.
it may be something to keep in our back pocket. I don't know.
Right.
To be sure, it's a tool, and we can use it if it seems useful. I just don't know that we should lead with poison as the
Look,
solution.
this is fair. This is fair.
Yeah. When it comes down to the poison itself, I believe I have a 1 dose. So if we were to poison the most capable fighter, I think we could take out the rest of them.
If we
What
so
does
if
your
it comes to
poison do?
a violent conflict, we could poison swine, put the poison in his
Right.
trough, and then hope for a success in any kind of violent confrontation.
Right.
Mm.
And Miss Nordenflicht, the poison will hopefully kill him.
Kill him?
That's a pretty intense poison.
It's a
Maybe
very
we do not
strong
wish to go
poison.
Do we?
Is this something we're comfortable with?
Could we
I
water this
wasn't-
down so it just causes terrible indigestion?
He's yeah.
This is
I
the
don't
DTA meeting, the define the alignment meeting.
This is hey, I got it from Horace. I trust him.
That should mean nothing. That should mean less.
That actually, yes, that does make it go even worse in my estimation.
Great. it'll
Perhaps
be
it is
effective.
something we need
Robert,
to
is this
keep-
something you've done before?
How many times have you
This-
poisoned people, Robert?
Not very often.
How many times have you killed people, Robert?
Not very often. It's been a while, so I'm a little out of practice.
Like
but I'm
since
sure I could
Prague?
do it.
Didn't all of you just kill some people yesterday?
Did I
What?
kill
Yeah.
people yesterday?
We absolutely murked some bandits.
okay, listen,
with the
listen.
cannon.
I didn't kill anyone, and also that was self-defense versus straight up murdering someone in cold blood.
I mean, we were all working together on that, so.
You know what? That's fair enough,
This-
I suppose.
I would just like the record to show that this conversation has been deeply concerning for me.
Look, I will say you are correct. I do not wish to kill any of these people. I mean,
Yet.
swine as yet. It is perhaps the poison is best saved in case there is a beast, and it may help us in that regard. Although
Alright.
an ancient beast and poison may not necessarily be it may not be a correct solution to defeating
Fair.
an ancient horror. But
Do you think because the name swine is beast-like, that swine is the beast? That
I
has
don't
been
know.
Beast has been
He is
revived
rather
and turned
brutish.
into a foreman.
Mhm.
Yes.
Perhaps we should get someone to poke around the ironworks before dinner.
Yes.
I could do
Maybe
that.
someone could pose as an iron worker.
Oh,
and
that
turn up
reminds me. I
Say like,
swiped this
"I'm here
last
for my
night.
job.
And I'm going to dig in my pack and pull out my
You swiped?
disguise. I have a disguise. Chase, could I have swiped a uniform for the ironworks?
I am
Yeah.
surrounded by killers and thieves.
I hardly think borrowing a uniform for an investigative case is on the same level as proposing we poison someone in cold
You
blood,
know,
Katrina.
I
Listen.
retract my statement.
Katrina,
I'm trying to be
all my
useful.
dearest,
She'll hand
all my
the
dearest
uniform.
companions, all my dearest companions have always been killers and thieves. But at my time of life, should I start turning over new leaves? I'm reviewing this situation. I'm now on Oliver, everybody. Can a fella be a villain on his life? All the trials and tribulations. I better settle down and get myself a wife. Okay, now I'm done. You can't set me up with killers and thieves. That's,
I know, I'm
you
so
can't- You
sorry.
gotta avoid saying anything that was ever on Broadway.
Of course. So how
If it's
could I
not on
have been so
Broadway, you can't say
foolish?
two. any
That's
two
just
words in a row
Galen
from
canon.
a
Anytime
Broadway
somebody says a book quote, Galen goes on some kind of full-on rant.
play. Really, we're the same person in a lot of ways.
Uh-huh.
I will hand the uniform to Robert.
That's so good. So is this the plan of the day? We've got Galen researching the dreams, Katrina and Constance heading off to the lake to investigate the bubble and squeak, and Robert, yeah, that's right. He's just going to eat some potatoes and vegetables in a little frying pan. I don't know how to
Uh-huh.
squeak. And then Robert, do you want to go in and in what's the word for going in? Infiltrating
Yeah.
the ironworks
I'm on
to get a
board.
lay of the land.
Right.
This is a
Oh,
good,
and
this is a good
I've
session.
got some makeup too. I can dirty your face up a bit, make it look convincing.
All right. Fine.
And Matt, I guess if you don't have the disguise in your gear, it gives you 2 bonus dice, and it says
Sick.
sometimes required for manipulation. So I guess that'll be up to Chase. But
Sweet.
You know, let's just drag that over to Robert's character
Oh,
sheet. Why don't we?
lovely.
Thank you very much.
Here,
Constance,
disguise.
while he's doing that, Constance, did you want help going across the lake?
Actually, yes,
Or-
Katrina, I wouldn't mind at all if you come. It occurs to me that while it might just be a legend, it is rather disconcerting to think there could be some sort of monstrous Vaesen hiding under the lake.
Yeah.
And I'd rather not go by myself. And with
Well-
Alfred, as helpful and capable as he might be, he is perfectly unexperienced when it comes to the supernatural.
If it makes you feel any better, the beast was trapped by high waters caused by a sorceress. And now that the lake is so low, it is almost assuredly freed and wandering about somewhere.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
that's how
that
you
was
free a
supposed to
monster.
comfort me about
It
this
just
trip.
it probably won't be
Yeah.
in the cave that it wanted to escape from. That is my point.
If
Well, I
anything,
will-
we'll
I would be
attack
happy to come
Galen
with
while
you.
he sits at home.
Yes.
We can
I'm-
certainly investigate.
Of course. I'm going to go read my book so that I don't feel so bad before we go. I'm going
Right.
to consult my memento chase in order to lose one of my conditions.
I love it. Which one are you getting rid of?
I'm gonna get rid of battered. I think I'm probably still wounded,
I like it.
but
Good
it's gonna
stuff.
heal my soul a little bit to read about the love of these characters.
Fantastic.
May I, while Katrina's doing that, then like as I'm getting ready, could I try to check out this crystal ball? And I would like to just kind of observe it and focus on what happened last night with my weird burst of healing insight.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to like go, mouse up in a corner and just sort of quietly reflect and look at this weird crystal ball that the wombat sent me.
Yeah, I love it. Go ahead and roll me an observation.
Okay. We have some dice. I'll save the dice for now. I'll just roll it straight, see what happens. Nope, nothing.
You
Push
have
it.
a free push. You
Or
have a free
leaving.
push.
Do I want to use the free push
Yeah,
here?
what's the
though?
word? Just why not? Believe in yourself.
All right. Believe in myself.
Do you want to use any dice, some cursed dice,
Free
maybe,
push.
since we've got a large.
You're
We've got
always
a
trying to sell me on the
large
cursed dice.
pool of the cursed
Oh
dice.
my
is all I'm
gosh.
saying.
You don't need to use the cursed dice.
You don't have
I
to.
will use.
I was just suggesting.
Right.
I'll
it's your
use-
choice.
Nah. I'll just roll it straight.
Okay.
Push it.
What a terrible choice. though.
Dang it.
All right. You try to commune this crystal ball. You see if you can tap into some similar power from last night. No such luck. You don't find anything.
Okay.
Alfred sees you with the crystal ball outside. I've got the horse prepped whenever you're ready.
Oh, excellent. Oh. It occurs to me now that 3 of us will probably not fit on the horse.
Yeah, I was assuming that I was going to be walking.
Okay.
It's
Well,
unlikely. If
Katrina
somebody's
will
not
be
riding on the
accompanying
horse,
us.
if we're crossing the lake, somebody's going to get wet.
You have like a do you have like a small cart or a carriage or something we can hook to the back of the horse?
Those died along with his other horses.
Wait, I have a beautiful plan. We have established canonically that the cannon is on a little frame with wheels, and we remove the cannon from its frame. We know it's already been hooked to the back of
That
a
seems
horse
like
before.
an incredible amount of work to hoist a
look,
cannon off the frame.
Alfred can lift the cannon.
I can
off the
take care
frame.
of it. I've disassembled
the cannon
cannons
off the
many
frame.
times.
Put
Yeah,
a little
many
chair
times.
in the frame
Yes.
instead, and you
Remember,
can sit
he
on
used
that.
to work.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. If it's not too much trouble, I suppose that could be useful.
Not at all.
Perfect.
I'd rather have it than have somebody waiting through the lake. Should
right.
work, but it would be rather uncomfortable.
All right, we'll do that then.
Yeah, he'll go start finagling with the cannon. Robert, mind giving me a hand with this? It's quite heavy.
Oh, not at all. And Robert will assist.
Picks up the cannon with one hand.
While Robert, okay, I want to do one more private thing with Galen while Robert goes outside, and while Katrina's still prepping. Constance would like to just slink over to Galen as he's unpacking his books and things, probably. Galen, if you could maybe keep your eye out for just one small other thing as you're reading today.
Yeah.
Don't let it distract you from the case, but perhaps if you see anything about sudden healing or miraculous feats of life-saving magic, something like that, I would appreciate it.
I'm very glad you asked me to do this. I will look into it for you. Yes, as I investigate this Vaesen, I will be looking into this as extra information about the situation. Thank you. And honestly, Galen is incredibly relieved that you've asked him to do this, because the alternative is that you knew you had healing powers and you've been a changeling betrayer this entire time. So he's legitimately, you see his face just like some like henchman just sort of disappears as soon as you've asked the question. He seems it's in a much better mood.
Did you see that?
No, I did not see this, but I have heard that maybe you did something by the lake. You do not need to worry. I'm sure it is something to do with this woman or the magic here at the lake. It is good to know. It's another effect of the Vaesen in this area. It will help us get a full picture of what's going on. So thank you for telling me. I will look into this.
Did you think I was hiding it from you?
No. Of course not. No, you would never do something like this. I'm sure we have no secrets. Do not worry. Please go to the lake. I will begin my research.
Constance looks extremely unconvinced at the I'm sure we have no secrets, but she'll not add anything and she'll just walk off.
All right. So Robert, you're able to easily help Alfred with this cannon. You make kind of just like a little makeshift cart for Katrina or somebody to sit on in the back. 2 people can ride on the horse. So we have Constance, Katrina, and Alfred heading out across the lake. Robert's going to the ironworks, and Galen is staying back and doing some research with his books.
I'm leaving Odin to protect Galen.
Oh.
Fantastic. All right. Well, all right. So what you players can do now is start thinking about who you want to go first. And in the meantime, this feels like a good place for a break. We're going to try to keep it to a short break since we started late tonight. So we'll be back at about 9:20 Mountain Time. So about a 12-minute break. So stick around, chat, and we'll be right back to continue on with the mystery.
Bye.
See you soon.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for letting us take a quick little rest there. We are back into the action. We have our investigators getting ready to split the party, go investigate several different things at once. Very efficient. And we talked a little bit off stream, and I think that we are going to start with Galen as we pop back into the adventure here. So, Galen, let's jump right back into it. You've got your books, right?
I've got my books. I don't only have my books. I have, specifically for this adventure, I have brought a larger set of old ancient scrolls. They're not that ancient, they're just kind of old. So Galen is in the middle of Alfred's shack. The bedrolls have all been rolled up, pushed aside. Everything's pushed aside, and the floor is just covered in all of the stuff that I brought. Basically, I've opened up a trunk that is full of books, old scrolls, anything I could find in Uppsala that had anything to do with this region, with satanic rituals, with beasts, with binding things, with Vaesen associated with iron, or just anything I thought that had keywords associated with the metadata of our quest, as Galen likes to say. I brought those with me. So they're all piled around on the floor, and I'm going to roll. Now, I'm assuming it would be a bit wild to be able to use 2 items at once to get both of their bonuses. I don't think that's allowed. I think I would just take the higher.
It depends.
Well, it's up to you. My book collection has a bonus of 1 while using it for learning checks. My old scrolls have a bonus of 2 used to find information for learning checks. I brought them specifically for Vaesen in research.
Oh, those can 100% stack up.
Well, then I'm going to have a +3 from my books and my old scrolls.
And let's see, I'll just a reminder, I don't remember what everybody's advantages were, but remember, everybody does have an advantage prepared.
Yes, my advantage in this case is a vigilance advantage. For hiring, because I have outside investigators looking around this entire town, keeping an eye out for Gregor. So if somebody's going to attack me while I'm here, I will have a very large vigilance bonus from both my outside investigators and the dog who gives a vigilance bonus. I'm going to be sweet.
Fantastic. And are you taking any bonus dice for this?
What are our bonus dice situation?
Bonus dice situation at the moment is somewhere that we've got 4 blessed dice, 6 cursed dice.
Well, you know what? I'll just take 4 blessed dice and I'm not even looking at the Zoom call, so I can't see the faces of the other players. So I'm assuming they're fine with it.
Super fine.
Fantastic.
So I'm taking, that's with those 4 plus my items, that's an extra 7 dice on top of my normal 8 dice base pool. So I'm going to roll 15 dice.
All right, let's see this learning extravaganza.
I only got 3 successes, but 3 successes is okay.
Would you like to push? Now, a push
Now,
does
my
keep
push-
your successes, and it pushes the rest of the dice.
Also, I would roll another 12 dice.
Yep.
Well, it is free. I get to my scrolls, and in it, I find a little note written in the corner that's just like, I'm like, I swear there was an extra book here. Wasn't there another book? And I see a little Post-it note that says Wombat was here, borrowed your book. I was like, Wombat! And I get so incensed that I decide to search even harder. He thinks he can stop my research by taking my books. He does not even know how to do research. I will show him. So I will, I guess, if I hit push, will it just push my last roll?
Yep.
It only rolled 4 dice. That's not right.
Apparently.
Oh no! What? I got 4 more successes. Okay, it was just.
No, it pushed it. It just didn't show it. It didn't show it properly on the screen,
graphic was wrong, but I now have. Does that mean I have a total? Was that one more?
So it looks like
God.
it's a total of 4. So you rolled,
Okay.
and it got you one more
Oh.
success.
It got 1 more success. Okay, that's fine. I'm happy with that. Sometimes Foundry implementations I'm never sure of. I have 4 successes on my learning roll.
Fantastic. So let's talk about this. What kind of topics are you looking into? And I'll
Okay,
tell you
so-
what you can spend successes on.
All right. So one of the things that is important is these dreams. I think the dreams have been very relevant to this Vaesen, this interaction. I want to find out if they could be magically caused by rituals, by Beata, by her being here, or whether they're associated with the area, whether there's history of people having visions around the lake or in relation to the monster itself. Or I'm looking at these kind of horrific dreams and visions associated with this area is my first port of call.
Okay. Another thing I'll give you, just while you're pondering these, you have 4 potential Vaesen entries you can pull up right now that are relating to your situation. So 1 success will give you 1 Vaesen entry. I randomly roll on the table on if it's one that might be correct or not, but you can get up to 4 Vaesen entries, 1 for each success.
Well, should I just use all 4 of my successes to pull up all of these Vaesen, and then we can like delve through and figure out which one fits the situation we're in the most? That seems like the best way to be using our learning roll. Maybe give me all 4, baby.
You want all 4 Vaesen entries? All right.
Yeah, I don't need to do anything. I'm on Vaesen hunting duty.
Excellent.
Honestly, I don't even mind so much what gave Constance her powers. For Galen, like, I'm thinking there's 2 thoughts. One is I'm just glad that they're recent, and if we figure out what the Vaesen are, I'm sure there's going to be a connection there as well. I might be wrong, but that's at least my thought at the moment. And if it doesn't turn out to be, then there's not an immediate risk on it, and we can go home and research it at the library in Gillenkreuz. So
Okay.
I'm just getting all 4 Vaesen entry. We're going to figure this stuff out.
All right. You ready to read some Vaesen entries and then
I'm ready
chat
to read
about
some
these?
Vaesen entries.
All right. So here is Vaesen number 1. So this should pop up the art for it.
This
And
is
then-
the classic image. This is the Vaesen image.
Yeah, and there's a little info tab you should be able to click on that will
Yeah.
tell you what you know about it.
So we have this beautiful picture of the ash tree wife. She's got a little crown of thorns. Who does she think she is? Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Long hair, and she's living in a weird little tree. And the tree has little skulls in it going, hello, look at me, I have a little skull. Some ash trees are inhabited by an ash tree wife, a terrifying female Vaesen that is bound to the tree, demanding offerings from the people at certain times of the year. She can haunt those who damage the tree, spread diseases, and twist people's minds. The ash tree wife resembles a human woman combined with certain features of a tree: long green hair, bark-like skin, and horns like branches. She controls the tree and all the greenery in its surrounding area, capable of enchantment magic as well as controlling the weather and vegetation surrounding their tree. Now, looking at this, I'm thinking, and what for other players, feel free to jump in. I think we can discuss this as players rather than as.
Yeah, you can
as
table
Galen.
talk this.
I don't think this is it, right?
I think it's super not it.
Right, because we have like there's some elements there. I can see why it pops up in the research, right? We've got like twisting people's mind, controlling how they think, and
Weather.
yeah, like controlling the weather, right? I can see how it pops up in my research, but like,
Right.
unless maybe if we walk in on Beata when she's bathing before dinner, she'll be like, "Oh, you can see my roots," and we'll know it's her. But that doesn't.
And
seem
covers
to...
her armpit. My roots.
Yeah, that's where the
oh,
roots
no.
grow. What are you talking? Don't you know anything about roots? like you'd be like, okay, well maybe that's, but it doesn't seem like it matches her. And also it feels like it's all centered around a much like I think we ignore this unless we see that she has roots that were secretly hidden under her dress, or we notice that in the middle of their mansion there's a huge ash tree that the house was built around.
Agree.
But again, I think that there's some key elements missing from this, so I think we can set it aside for the moment.
All right. Here is entry number 2 then.
All right. This is just fairies. And here we have a couple of fairies floating around. They're very pointy. They got legs like Batman's arms. Do you know what I mean? You know, he's got the little.
I know exactly what you mean.
Absolutely what they look like.
For everyone listening along at home, who's not watching the footage, yes, they have legs like Batman's arms. That's all you need to know about fairies. Fairies live and work in communities. They normally appear as luminous, palm-sized women, though they can take any form they like, often wisps of mist, insects, or frogs. Male fairies are called elves and look like tiny old men, just like Galen. Elves play their musical instruments while the fairies lead the fairy dance, which plunges people into insanity and distorts their sense of time. Fairies love playing pranks. They are self-centered and easily offended, devoid of human morals. People who anger them are either bitten or infected with disease, and even when the fairies are in a good mood, they can bite the fingers of small children and feed on their blood. Fairies live in mounds led by a fairy queen or an elf king. They move in processions on magical paths along underground streams. Fairies are closely connected to animals, plant life, and weather. So again, you can see this pops up because of some weather stuff, some insanity stuff, some mind control stuff. But again, I don't feel like this fits what we've seen, you know?
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Again, the only thing I could possibly see is when it talks about underground streams, maybe in like Constance and Katrina's investigation into the lake and into the like if you end up finding weird underground, like maybe the whole lake is actually on top of a fairy city.
But this feels they're pranksters.
Yeah, right. What kind of a prank is like
fire raining down and destroying a raft? Doesn't feel very
cataclysmic.
Yeah,
I think it seems too intense for this. And again, it doesn't explain how Beata could be involved in it, right? Like it doesn't have a connection there. I don't think so. I think fairies is also on my list of get out of here, you dumb Vaesen.
Get out of here!
Get out of here!
You dumb Vaesen!
On that note, on to Vaesen number 3.
That's a dragon. I think we would have noticed, but still. Except maybe dragons can take human form. Let's find out. So we've got a big picture of a dragon, beautiful dragon. Nice. The art in this game is just fantastic.
So good.
Here's a question for everybody playing along at home. How many of the birds in the background of this image are also just faraway dragons? No one can know. Of all the fearsome Vaesen lurking in the wilderness, the dragon is the most dangerous and notorious. They are monstrous beasts with writhing reptilian bodies, huge leathery wings, and razor-sharp claws and fangs. They have sharp and malevolent minds, voracious appetites, and the ability to breathe fire down on a lake while flying above it. Many dragons can hypnotize victims with their gaze and often have other strange abilities, including mind reading, shape-shifting, like turning into a woman, and the power to distort people's vision or give you visions. When the dragon is not out making mischief, I've never heard of a dragon making mischief. It's a very light way to talk about a dragon. It spends its time resting on its treasure in a lair under some burial mound or ancient family tomb. Some dragons also like to gather new riches, like iron, and can have more than one treasure hoard. Resourceful individuals may try to steal the dragon's treasure, like people dredging the lake to take iron out because it's actually dragon treasure, but should exercise supreme caution, as the dragon will undoubtedly be nearby and attack any thieves with terrible fury, like burning their lake. Moreover, one must not be easily scared, for the dragon can assume the most terrifying forms to scare off the intruder, like swine. As darkness falls, especially on clear autumn nights, dragons can be seen soaring over the treetops on the way from one treasure hoard to another, trailed by showers of sparks and flames. I think we're a little bit more... I could believe that we're dealing with a dragon here.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions, but I could be convinced. Let's see the fourth.
Let's do the next one.
I would like to say one last thing about the dragon that I find interesting is dragon explains not only the modern presence of Beata, right? As a
Mhm.
shapeshifted dragon. There's a
Mhm.
clear gaze-related hypnotizing. She has the
Mhm.
same eye color as August. That could be an indication of the eye-based hypnotism. Raining fire down from above. I don't know if we had seen Beata when the fire hit. I think we saw her right afterwards,
Mhm.
right?
True.
And it connects us also to the ancient story of a large beast was defeated by the people here and trapped in the lake. It could have been a dragon, and this is it kind of escaping as the lake is like I think there's a connection both to the ancient and the current
Yeah.
in the dragon being the Vaesen in question.
It does
I thi-
seem odd to think that no one would have seen any strange shapes in the sky, though, because a
That is the
dragon
one
is
thing
It can
that throws me.
distort vision. It says it can distort
That's
people's
true.
vision.
I
And if you're
guess-
not a Thursday's child, they might not have noticed at all.
True, but it just said like dragons, like at sunset, often they're seen flying
Yeah,
across the
exactly.
sky. Like,
And then
anyway,
and the only other thing it doesn't fully explain necessarily is it has no connection to the current, to like the blight on the land and the droughts and the
Mhm.
like. That's not necessarily connected, but there's a lot going for the dragon, I think, in terms of it being
Yeah.
a possibility.
All
What's
right.
the last one?
door number 4.
All right, door number 4. Here we go.
Oh, hello. It's a
She's
little
got
hag.
the eyes. She's got Beata's eyes.
Hello. Well,
Yeah.
welcome to my swamp. I'm a hag. Don't mind my little wings. Please come in. I'm making soup. No, not from the bones of people. I'm not a hag like that.
I hope it's her because I like this voice now.
No, please.
She looks great.
Yeah, you know.
You like my little spikes? Oh, I've been growing them for years.
Hags have the appearance of old, ugly women whose faces are twisted into masks of rage. Not that first one. Look at her.
So friendly.
Their clothes are often ragged, their teeth are sharp, and their fingernails have grown into iron-hard claws.
Mm.
There are many theories regarding their origins. Some say they are female trolls or ogres, smaller, more intelligent, but no less malignant. In some tales, their sons are all ogres and their daughters are all hags. Others believe that they are witches, whose dealings with the powers of evil have transformed them into a barely human form, while others still regard them as fallen demigoddesses, fragments of the ancient Earth Mother, whose worship was supplanted in ancient times by the rise of the weather-controlling Sky Father as farming took over from hunting and gathering. Hags usually live in remote, forbidden places such as caves and deep woods. Some live underwater, in dismal pools or deep rivers. They may be encountered at night or in bad weather, attacking lone travelers or stealing children to eat. Talented in using a variety of magic and known, and this is important, everybody, and known for disguising as beautiful women. Okay. So we're stuck in a dragon hag dichotomy because right, known for disguising themselves as
Mhm.
beautiful women.
Yeah.
Right.
And outside of that, lives maybe underwater, maybe comes from the cave, maybe comes from the lake. There's a connection there. There's some kind of connection to the Earth Mother, Sky Father. Maybe there's something to do with control of.
It does.
of-
It does have just this blanket statement, though, a variety of magic. It's like,
Yeah, right.
so
It's like it
maybe
can now do
weather,
whatever it
maybe
wants.
dreams, maybe mind control, like variety of magic.
So, Bill, I think that
Mm.
you missed the last time that I went on a rant about my theory. But I
Yeah.
think that Beata is actually a Vaesen who is good.
You think she's a good Vaesen?
I think she's a good Vaesen trying to help solve a problem. And that some sort of terrible problem is happening, like the lake is too low, and she's actually trying to get people together in order to make the water come back down, like rain once more. Because in the old legend, they were talking about how the sorceress, which could be the hag, actually made the lake full of water.
Oh, that's interesting. So this is that earlier thing that we had of legend has it that approaches please roamed these parts hundreds of years ago, and that the villagers banded together to slay the monster. And the sorceress called down a rainstorm of such magnitude that flooded the entire valley and submerged the cave. So you think maybe that sorceress could also be a hag
Could
as
be
well.
a
like,
hag, yeah.
has come back to be like,
Oh, let's we bury the lake.
Yeah.
Ooh.
and what she was preaching to everybody at the ironworks,
Mm-hmm.
the revival meetings.
Because she needs another army, right? Because all the people were an army beforehand. Maybe she needs some sort of power from a gathering of people.
Yeah, could be. So maybe hag is a good. Maybe hag makes sense as well.
That
for the
feels
ancient and the
like-
and the current.
It's a huge stretch.
Well, the motive is the question
Mhm.
then there,
Yeah.
because the hag is not known at all for. I don't think I've ever heard of a good
No,
hag.
if a good hag is called a human.
But not all Vaesen are evil.
No, not all Vaesen are evil, but
Mhm.
I don't know that if that fits hag
That's true.
specifically. I think it's a good theory that we can keep in mind. Though.
Yeah, I think we're trying now to like worm our way to knocking out either a dragon or a hag. As an
Mhm.
option.
Yeah,
I think it's fairies and ash wives get out of
they're
here.
out of here.
But dragon, like we know they can shapeshift. Hags can be beautiful women.
Mhm.
I just don't know. I just want to find out more about this amulet. But I've used all my learning
Mhm.
things at the moment about just getting a good picture of the Vaesen, which I think is a fair use of them. To be fair.
Yeah, agree.
I just have one quick question. This is a pretty like scrubby, desolate wasteland kind of area. Have we seen any ash trees? At
I
all?
mean, not necessarily. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
ash
we
lights
have
the way
not
out.
we have not specifically observed like, wow, look at this beautiful forest, and look, there's some of those trees are ash trees. Like,
Of course, if we're
I've seen a
talking
lot
about
of dead trees, but
Okay.
a benevolent Vaesen, we may be dealing with a hag and a dragon. The dragon is the ancient monster that needed to be kept in the lake. The dragon has escaped. That is what was raining fire and stuff. Beata is a hag. She's like, better help out. So like, we could be dealing with both. Right? Like, I don't know. Maybe we accept that Beata's doing well and it's a dragon that isn't Beata and she's just like chilling. I don't know. We need more information from your guys' investigation. That'll
Yeah.
get us the info we need to narrow this down.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Galen's done his part. And
that was a
Okay.
fun little research dash. I liked
I
that.
liked it.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's nice that we can sort of like start like knocking them off like a
Mhm.
puzzle.
So I
Yeah.
think this is just my feeling. You guys speak up if you think differently, but I feel like I think I want to do Constance and Katrina next, because I feel like whatever information we kind of observed there might help Matt in his Robert scene, maybe kind of
Sure.
like in the culmination of whatever we might be able
Okay.
to see. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That feels like
Oh,
the
I agree.
natural like
Do it.
clue number 2, like let's see
Yeah.
what we learn here.
Let's go.
Yeah, I like it. All right. So Galen, you're book dashing. You've got your books. We now pan over to Katrina, Constance, and Alfred. Who's leading the horse this time? Who's in the cannon carriage in the back? Who's on the back of the horse?
I guess it depends. Constance will defer to Katrina, which Katrina
hate
doesn't like horses.
horses.
Yeah. So do you want to be in the cart thing?
I'll be in the cart.
Okay. Then
Staring at a horse's
Constance-
ass.
we'll let Alfred play gentleman and direct the horse, I guess.
Begrudgingly.
No, she's not begrudging. She'll just chill. She's chilling on the horse.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, this is a pretty long trek. And I mean, Galen's book dash was also a pretty long book dash. You guys are going from like morning till dinner here. But you're able to take the road down towards like the midpoint of the lake. I imagine you're having him cross near where you saw the steaming portion of the lake, right?
Maybe as we approach, I want to know where he thinks he might have seen the cave that he saw, that they may have stumbled upon as boys. Like as we're approaching, like I'll kind of like gesture, like, about where do you think it might have been?
Yeah, and he'll take you down towards like this midpoint of the lake, and you can see where the lake was steaming and bubbling before, and there's still a bit of mist coming off of it. It doesn't look as intense as it did last night. And he gestures to a forest right across the way, just to the north of it, up over here. I
Okay.
believe it was over there.
Fascinating.
We
Do you
used to live on the
both
other
see-
side of this lake, up in
Did
Sonerbo.
you? Oh. Huh. do you both see how the mist is just right on the water surface there in that one area?
I do. Odd how it's just kind of settling on that one area.
Yes, I'd like to go investigate there, but I don't suggest we cross through it. Let's go around and investigate it from the shore, I think.
Cross here and then work our way around.
Yes, unless you know a better way.
Not that I know of, not unless we want to go all the way around the lake, and that's a lengthy trip, not one we're
I did
prepped
not
for.
pack enough sandwiches for that.
All right, it might get a bit splashy here, Katrina. I'll do the best I can.
Oh, I'm just here.
All right, yeah, he'll pull the horse into it, and the horse is tall enough that it splish and splashes on the lake. Your little cannon carriage is probably like just barely above the water. You probably get some splishes and splashes there, but overall, it's keeping you dry. And as he's trekking along the lake, he'll just make some small talk and chat with you guys. I have fond memories of here with my old brother August. We used to be very close back in our childhood. Used to go on fake little adventures. You mentioned myths about beasts and creatures. It's been in folklore of this area for quite a long time. This cave, if I remember correctly, we went in there. It was probably a bit dangerous looking back. We might want to be careful if we find it, if it's even still standing. But we climbed down a crevice and we used to pretend we were fighting the beast. August lit his lantern down there, pretend he stole some flame from it. He still carries that lantern around. That's how I know he hasn't completely forgotten our childhood. Treats it with fond memories.
That's a clue, everybody.
That's absolutely a clue. What was your brother's eye color?
Which is my brother's eye color. He's always had brown eyes. Jealous of my green.
It sounds like you two had a wonderful relationship growing up.
That we did. I miss our adventures. Business was great until it wasn't.
Well, hopefully we can help patch things up, if it's possible.
He nods and then just kind of gets a small smile on his face as he reminisces and crosses the lake. So yeah, I mean, you guys cross the lake here. You can see that steaming, misting lake getting closer. He'll bring you all to the shore. You cross with no incident. Do you want me to try to find the cave first, or did you want to go take a look over there on the water?
Why don't you find a place to put the horse up, and we'll take a look at the lake here, Katrina and I.
Sure, I'll keep an eye on it. He'll get you guys all settled down. He'll help you off the horse, and he'll go tend to the horse while you guys do your thing.
I hate mud, says Katrina as we walk along the lake.
Didn't you march through quite a bit of mud in the military?
It's a developed hate, Connie. All
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Sorry, I just get a little tense when I'm covered. It's fine. It's fine. I'm okay. So this is where the bubbling it was that you saw?
Yes, it was practically boiling. The steam was coming off of it. But now it's quite subdued, as you can see.
Mm,
You guys going right up to the water? Take a look.
yeah.
Very good.
I have my magnifying glass.
Yeah. Why don't you guys make me a vigilance roll?
Oh,
Now-
no.
Notably, it is still very hot outside. It never lets up this summer. It's just extremely hot. But as you get closer to the water, there is even more of a heat wave coming off of the water, and it almost looks like it's bubbling ever so gently as you get close to it. There is a slight steam raising, and it's uncomfortable to stand next to.
Is it sulfury to smell?
Let's see what your vigilances are, and we'll
I got
see.
2 vigilance.
I also got 2
Twins.
vigilance
2 vigilance.
on 3 dice.
There is kind of a sulfurous smelling odor coming up from the water that you pick up on, Katrina. And Constance, as you're checking it out, magnifying glass, getting a close look, as you get the right angle on the water and you get the glare of the sun to not quite so much reflect off the surface, you can see underneath the lake here actually looks like there is some sort of underwater cavern that goes down into the water here.
It looks as if there's some sort of cave or cavern system down there. Is that Katrina, Bill?
And I suppose you want me to swim down there?
I wasn't suggesting that, unless you wanted to.
How hot is this water? I'm going to touch it with my hand, Chase.
It's quite uncomfortable. It doesn't like scald your hand, but it's hard to keep your hand in there for a long period of time.
Unfortunately,
it starts to burn.
It's too hot to bear. It's not an option.
Right. Well, that's something we can take note of, I suppose. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with our case, or if it's just some sort of odd natural feature.
It is odd, to be sure.
Speaking of odd, Katrina, did you find it odd how casually Robert was talking about poisoning someone?
Oh, I don't trust that man.
I'm
He
relieved.
is pleasant and he is talented, but I fully believe that Galen has hired him with the intention of taking advantage of his more nefarious abilities.
Abilities that could have come in handy in a place like Prague, for example.
Prague is complicated.
You know about Prague?
I've heard things, but
Everybody knows
I
about
don't know the full story. I wouldn't look terribly close at Prague if I were you. And it's not because I don't trust you, but because it seems dangerous. There's more going on with that instance than we know of.
Look around you, Katrina. What do we do if not charge blindly into danger?
Well, I like to think that I look before I leap, but I understand your point.
I also wanted to ask you.
Oh, go ahead.
Before we go back to Alfred, I don't wish to share this with him, but did you tell Galen? Well, did you see anything odd that I might have done last night on the lakeshore?
With the healing?
Yes.
No.
I had been concerned that there had been some kind of possession. We're merely looking after you. I asked for them to be my eyes when I'm not around.
Why didn't you ask me about it?
I didn't want to anger whatever was possessing you if you were possessed. Also, I was shot and I was very tired. Right here.
I remember.
Okay.
But you found time to talk to Galen about it. So obviously you were not so out of it that you couldn't have mentioned it to anyone.
You were off with the horse, dear. I did not mean any harm. And I'm speaking plainly and honestly with you now. Your safety
Except
was
about Prague.
Except about Prague, but Prague is not my secret to tell.
But my miraculous healing was.
I don't know what that was. Do you know what that was?
No. I'm just.
How would you have preferred that I handled it?
I don't know, Katrina. Well, sometimes I'm not even quite sure if I'm part of this group, truly, or if I'm just some sort of hired hand that you guys bring along because I happen to be useful. At times, it feels like I'm quite on the outside.
Constance, where are you keeping that amulet?
Good question. Since last night,
In a box next to Galen.
I think I just would probably still in my pocket. I think I just wouldn't have known quite what to do with it. And I was trying to kind of like divine answers from the crystal ball too. So I think I probably had it on me.
You feel a burning in your pocket where it's keeping, familiar to what happened last time. And as you feel irritation building up, you feel another connection that you could reach out and grab. It feels strong, but unfamiliar. You're not exactly sure what it could do, but it feels like something physical that you can tug on with your mind.
Okay. What does Katrina say in response? I think that will.
Sure. Katrina is going to draw a long, steadying breath and give Constance an almost fond smile. I understand what it is to be like at your age. You are finding your place in the world, and I want to apologize for my part in making you feel lost. As soon as you know how you would have preferred me to handle the situation, I hope that you will tell me and know that I will take it to heart. But I would like to reiterate that I only had your best interests at heart. We were not conspiring against you. We're friends looking out for you.
I'll tug on it. I think as much as Katrina, I think maybe in Katrina's mind it came off like this kind, gentle consolation.
Definitely. That's exactly the line I was going for.
Constance definitely only heard I remember what it was like at your age, and just like blind rage to the rest of it was just like, now she's treating me like a child. Like, yeah, so she'll reach for it, whatever it is.
It feels like a thing you just mentally pull on, like a pull string. And why don't you make me a magic roll of 4 dice? And Katrina, why don't you make me an agility test?
Bum, bum,
Oh,
bum,
no.
100
bum.
cursed dice. 100 cursed
Great.
dice.
I'm at a -1, but I still got a success. 3 1s and a 6. That's pretty great.
Is this a thing I can push?
You can push it.
Push it,
Okay.
Push it real good.
Use
I-
all the cursed dice.
I do
and
want to use
push
some
it.
cursed dice if that's
Cursed.
okay.
Yes, use all
Yeah.
of them.
Push.
All
Curse,
of
push,
them.
curse, push. Curse.
I'll use 4 of them. How's that?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Chase is like, okay.
I mean, this is clearly going to
hang
kill
on.
Katrina, but let's move on.
We're so excited for that.
I'm sorry if this does nothing. Okay.
Wow.
No 6s on 10d6, but I am angry.
Yeah, so you pull on that, and from behind you, there's a big rippling wave across the lake that splashes up. And Katrina, I mean, from your perspective, you can see this water clearly arches around Constance and goes right for your face like a torrent of water. But you're able to step out of the way of it. And as the water hits the ground, it steams pretty hot.
Like a sizzle?
Like a sizzle, yeah.
Do I notice this? Like,
Or
am I kind of so lost?
Yeah, I mean, you saw water arch around you and
Okay.
try to hit Katrina. You feel like that was definitely you. You pulled the tug, and that immediately happened as a reaction.
Connie?
She's the hag.
I hate that nickname. She'll storm off into the trees toward wherever Alfred is with the horse.
That was a strange wave. Is everything okay?
It's fine. Just show us to the cave.
Didn't even feel any wind. All right, it's somewhere this way, if you're all ready. Did you find anything interesting?
Not really. It's just a sulfuric hot springs or something. It doesn't matter right now. Just where's the cave? Just show us the damn cave.
Right, of course. Coming, Katrina?
Yes, of course.
All right. Let's see. Let me look at the skills that we have here again in Vaesen. This one's probably going to be tracking, I believe, is vigilance. Yeah. Yes, it
I
is.
believe
Okay.
so. I
Not
should have brought the
investigation?
dog.
No, I think this will actually be investigation. Yeah, it'll be an
It
investigation.
is investigation? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Vigilance is spotting things. Investigation is searching for things and like looking
Can I
for clues.
assist Constance in order to give her a bonus? Or should I just roll myself?
I don't want
yeah,
your
so-
help.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, so Alfred is walking you guys all around the woods here, and he
I
seems
will say-
lost.
Sorry, just for rule sticklers, vigilance. You can also use vigilance to follow tracks left by creatures or other people.
Okay, gotcha. But that would be different than looking for something in the woods. I think this one would be. Do you have the description for investigation?
I did. That's for searching a room or looking for clues.
Okay.
Search a room, understand what happened at a crime scene, examine a dead body, find what is obscured.
Find what is
This feels more like
obscured.
vigilance, I would say.
Yeah.
Vigilance?
No.
Should have rolled
You know,
that.
I'll let you roll either. I mean, you're looking
Okay.
for a clue.
I can ignore conditions when I'm investigating, but not with vigilance.
So yeah,
I
you
can
guys are
use a
riding around
magnifying
for a
glass.
minute. Alfred says, "It's around here somewhere. Perhaps it's gone."
You got 2 successes.
All right.
No success.
And as you're looking around, Katrina, you don't see anything either. But Constance, you see through some fallen foliage. You think that you see a very. You can see just a tiny corner of a cave entrance, like a hole in the ground almost.
I think that's over there. Is that it?
Now you see something.
Yes, look. In the
Let's go
ground
take
there.
Let's go take a look. He'll pull the horse over there and he'll clear some trees out of the way. And sure enough, as you pull some of the shrubbery and the foliage out of the way, there is a entrance to a cavern leading down. And let's see, you got 2 successes there?
Yes.
Let's see here.
Oh, hey. Actually, I have a way I want to use my extra success.
Okay.
I have
yeah.
6th sense. I want to learn if a Vaesen has been in the area or gain more or less vague impressions of what kind of Vaesen it is and find out if magic has been used.
Find out if magic has been used. Fantastic. Okay.
Am I getting the heebie-jeebies?
Yeah, so you'll get a couple things here with your successes and your 6th sense. So number 1, as you uncover this cave entrance, you do see engraved on the entrance of the cave in very like crude, childlike handwriting, Anderson is carved into the side of the cave. And you do get an impression of some kind of grand burning presence coming up from this cave. You feel like a Vaesen is nearby.
Okay.
Anderson, for people at home, is that's the surname of Alfred and August. They're the Anderson brothers.
Was this yours from when you explored here the first time?
Yes, I suppose it was. I forgot we carved that here. This has to be the one then. Anderson used to be our name. We changed it for our business.
You said there's a grand burning presence here.
Like you feel like the heat for Katrina and Alfred, you just feel standard heat here. But for you, as you're getting closer to this, Constance, it feels like a jet of heat rushing out of this cave entrance. And you feel the presence of something supernatural down in the cave.
I don't, let's not go further, right now.
We got down there when we were children. If you wanted to take a poke around, it's probably fine.
I mean, we came all this way. There should be some clues. You said your brother found a lantern here last time.
He brought his own lantern. He
Oh,
lit the
he took
flame and claimed it
fire.
as the flame of a beast. He used to
Mhm.
pretend he was stealing the monster's
that
life
flame.
essence.
Monster's life essence.
I'm-
Childish games.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling so well just now. I really think we should go back.
Whatever you wish.
We know where the cave is now, and that's useful by itself. I don't think we should explore it right now.
I'm sorry you're not feeling well, but isn't this a wasted opportunity? What if I just peeked in the entrance? See what I can find.
I'll step away from Alfred and like grab Katrina's arm and sort of like drag her off a little bit. I don't suggest going inside there unless you are prepared for your dream last night to become a potential reality. There is something there. I can feel it. It's hot and powerful, and it's in there. I don't know
Have you
what we're up
dragged
against, and I don't want to find out the hard way. As upset as I am at this time, I don't wish to see harm come upon you or anyone else.
Okay.
If we wish to come back, I think that we should, but we should bring everyone. Safer in numbers, you know.
And the cannon.
If you're not feeling well, Constance, I could take a peek in if you wanted.
No, don't. No, that isn't. That's all right. I'd really rather you just take me back. Take us back.
Katrina?
She said what she wishes. Let's fulfill it.
Very well. We'll take a mental note of where we're at. Hopefully can find it again tomorrow. Or tonight, though I wouldn't recommend delving into any caves without proper equipment in the middle of the night.
Of course.
I'll take you back then. Anything else you wanted to take a look at?
You said that your family's home was around here. Sunnerbo?
Oh, it's a good ride up to the northeast.
How far?
Good couple hours. I'd be a bit concerned about you making dinner if we hit that first.
All right, then let's skip it for
As
today.
far as you know, has it been affected by the unfavorable conditions around here?
Yes, it's been hit quite hard. It's been part of the reason business has not been so well.
And that's where you lived as a child, where you took the flame?
The flame was in the lantern that August still keeps.
And he's never let it go out.
Not the same flame, of course, but
Have you seen the flame go out?
suppose not. I assume he puts it out at night when he goes to bed.
A reasonable thought.
There's no way the same flame could keep going, though, for so long. That was when we were children.
That
course.
is an eternal flame, 100%.
100%.
We're going to get there, and the house is going to come to life, and it's going to kick us out with its fun little dancing tiles. That's what's going to happen.
All right. As you guys pack up and get ready for your journey back, let's cut over to Robert, who is
Robert.
in disguise, which Matt has properly cosplayed. Look at that
Yes.
dedication.
Oh, look at
Yes,
this.
indeed.
I didn't even
Let's
notice.
get
I
in
wasn't
there.
paying any attention.
All right, let's see here, Matt. We're going to take you to your own special map now because
Oh,
you're heading to
sick.
the Ironworks. So,
Let's
Map.
go.
yeah, you've been down here before. You can see there is a handful of ore boys going about their business. What are you
Every
doing?
time you say that, I think they're Warhammer orcs.
Oh,
boy.
the orc boys.
Oh, the Ore boys.
Do I look like I would blend in with them at all?
They're not like any specific type of people, so to speak.
Oh,
They're a
okay.
variety of. There's men and women. There's definitely more men than women that work here. But
Okay.
your uniform matches. You could fit right in.
Great. Yeah, I'd like to try to catch up to them.
Okay, just gonna go get into the work.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm late.
All right, so we'll put you down. So, I mean, as you cross by here, you can see there is a sawmill that's loud and buzzing right down here, and a water mill that's being powered. And as you pass by, there is a smithy that is you're clanking in. Yeah, I mean, you can catch somebody probably right about over here.
Yeah, great.
You're late.
Yeah.
August expect you in sooner.
Right.
Come on, just get to work and try to not let him know. The swine hears about it. You're gonna get beat real good.
Does he do that often?
You knew or something?
Yeah. I just came in. August asked for help after the catastrophe last night.
Oh, you don't want to be reported to swine. Yeah, come on, let's get you in the smithy. Let's have you start
right.
beating on something. All right.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah, he'll take you into the smithy here. And here they've got unprocessed, or they've got processed ore that they just have people hammering. They've got machines to assist pressing into different shapes, and people are trying to hammer it, clean up the edges. I heard poor Torgny the other day. He got caught coming in late in swine. He snapped his neck after he put some molten metal on him.
Ow.
I haven't seen Torgny since, so I reckon this got to be true.
Huh. I see. Why do you stand for this kind of working environment?
Where are you coming from? You found any more work? This is the only thing I can find that pays reasonable wage for miles.
That's fair. But
I'm just earning enough, and I'm going to be heading to America looking for something away from this damn hellish heat. Pardon my language.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Tell me, has swine been around for very long?
Well, I've been here for about 2 months, and he's been here since I have.
Okay. You know where his office is?
He's all over the damn place. I think he lives in the farmhouse, but I don't know if he even ever sleeps. I see him all hours of the night yelling at people and beating them.
Okay.
Why don't you roll me a vigilance, Robert?
Yeah, I would love to.
Chase, I feel like as a GM, you're missing the opportunities here. This is a classic scene to be like, oh, well, if you're an All Boy, surely you can sing the All Boy anthem. Why don't you start us off? Let's sing it together. And the secret handshake? Let's go.
Yeah, they're all part of a very exclusive club,
Right. I did
There's
have
anyone you
one
need
success.
to give weird improv games to, it's Robert. Matt can keep up.
All right. What you got with you? Let's see. It's one success on your vigilance.
Yes.
Yeah. So he keeps talking to you. It's a lot of toil and moil here day and night, but that's our lot in life, What was your name again? And you notice as you're talking to this guy, he's kind of guiding you around, having you do different tasks around here. I don't know how proficient in smithing would Robert be?
Not proficient at all, but if I have to smack something hard with something else that's hard, I'm pretty good at that.
All right, so he'll just keep small talking. He'll irritatedly fix your form every now and then, and wave a hand if you're hitting something you shouldn't.
Oh, whoops!
He started hitting everything with a hammer. Do I hit this? What is this?
But as you are talking with him and you're small talking, you can see through the window of the smithy. You can see the manor where you were invited to dinner tonight. You see somebody in a hat and a uniform similar to yours, kind of suspiciously looking both directions, and then starts climbing the wall of the manor.
Climbing the wall?
Looks like they're trying to climb up a window.
Are they climbing in a weird spidery creepy way, or they're just clambering?
Yeah, like they're
Okay.
grabbing on like handholds and trying to make
Got
their way
it.
to a window. Not anything supernatural looking.
Hey.
So pretty talented climbing.
Did they look like they were trying to keep it a secret, or just like a, hey guys, I'm climbing up the house?
It looks like they were they were trying to be pretty subtle about it. Like they looked both ways, and when they didn't see anybody, they just started going for it.
I'm gonna point and say, "Hey, is that normal? Is that how you get in?"
What are they doing there? Hey, you! And he's gonna go running out.
I'm gonna go with him.
Okay. You get down from there.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to be up there.
Exactly. Get down. You know what swine will do?
The person. You know, I'm gonna make a roll for him here.
Okay.
That's how you. This is like classic being a spy. Like you found another spy. Like, look at this guy. I want you.
Yeah.
Oh.
You put them out, and they panic, and they slip and
And
fall.
they fall to their death. You've killed another
Oh my
one, Robert.
gosh.
They hit their back, and as they hit their back, their hat kind of flies off backwards, and you can see very long blonde hair. Looks like a female spills out of the hat, and you can see Swine slams the door to the farmhouse open. What the hell's going on here? And everybody's just pointing at this person, and she's gonna run for it. She's just gonna make a dash. She's right here. She's gonna start dashing this way.
We have a picture of this person.
No,
Oh.
we don't actually, but yeah, they look like as you can gather, Robert, they look like a younger woman, bright blue eyes, long blonde hair, dirt all over their face, in a uniform like you.
Right. I'm gonna call out to Swine and the guy that I was just with. Say, "Don't worry, boss. I'll go catch her, and then I'll run after her."
You stop her! I got a discussion to have with her.
Yeah, I'm on it.
All right, and you're gonna dash after her?
Yeah, I'm gonna run as fast as I can.
All right, let's see. What do we got here? What can we have you roll to see if you catch her? This is probably gonna be a force, I imagine.
Ooh, all right.
I would accept force or agility to either kind of out endurance run or
Let's go.
make better maneuvers.
Okay. Ooh, I've got one success, but I'm gonna push it since I've got that free push.
All right, let's do it. And I'll
Push it
roll
real
for
good.
them as well.
Ooh.
Ooh, all right.
Oh,
Good push because you needed to beat them to catch them.
Great.
So.
Great. So I'll tell you this. As far as me catching them goes, my intention is
Mhm.
that I would like to catch them, but farther away. Like, I don't want to catch them like immediately. I want to be kind of out of sight of everyone before I catch up to them and apprehend them.
Okay, so you're letting them get a good distance away before you finally make that last sprint and outpace them.
Right.
As you're gaining on her, you're a good distance away. She looks very panicked. You're gonna regret it if you don't push off right now. Leave it be.
Why? Who are you?
That's not your business. I'll kill you if you get closer. And she's gonna stop, and she's gonna turn, and she's gonna draw a knife and just pull the knife at you. She's not gonna attack you, but she's gonna hold it
up.
up.
What I'd use to kill you if I had one.
I'll hold my hands up and say, I just want to talk.
They don't treat you well enough there for you to take this confrontation. You just leave it be and you let me go.
I know they don't. I've just been here 10 minutes and they haven't treated me well.
You knew or something?
Yeah, new.
All right. Well, then we can just both go our ways. I can give you something like you tried to catch me. It would get you in good graces. You just let me go.
I'm okay letting you go. I just want to know why you were doing that.
Why don't you roll me a manipulation? She looks hesitant.
Great. Okay. All right. This is gonna be a struggle. So I'm gonna use the blessed and cursed dice because my manipulation is not on
Nump them
point.
all if you need.
Disguise does have bonus dice to manipulation. I don't know
Oh.
if that will help
applies in
or
this
not.
case. I think
I
it's
would
I'll
let
let
it-
Chase decide that, but
Yeah, I would let it.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay,
Maybe she has
sick.
empathy for iron workers.
Can
For the
you use
laborer.
Can you use the disguise as in to get the manipulation by showing that it's a disguise?
like, hey, I'm not supposed to be here
Oh.
Like, be
either.
like,
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm a fake one.
This isn't
No,
even
like,
dirt.
It's an
Don't
yeah.
worry
It's
about
like this is clearly a disguise.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
no!
Oh
pushing.
no! You're gonna
I'm
push it?
pushing. Yeah. I've
Here
used
we
my
go.
freebie, but this is gonna be like I start to get a little frustrated and just like, come on! I'm here to try to solve this. Help me, please.
Whoa! There we go.
That's one.
There's one
Oh my
success.
gosh. Oh my god.
Are you revealing that you're not really an ore boy?
Yeah, I'm not an ore boy. I've never wanted to be an ore boy.
I hate ore.
Yeah.
She kind of looks you up and down. She puts the knife away. You get a tip off too.
Tip off?
Yeah, that priestess. Who are you? If you're not one of them, what are you doing?
We're investigating.
Investigating what?
Well, some supernatural phenomena, and especially that priestess. It seems like there's some weird things going on with her in those meetings, and that guy, the swine. I've
He's
got
a
a
real sack of meat, isn't he?
yeah, and I'm gonna beat that.
Okay, all right. Well, then maybe our interests align because I think that priestess is a little fishy too, and I would like to do some snooping in her things. That's why I was trying to get up that wall, trying to get into her room.
Okay. Well,
She lives with the boss, August.
uh-huh. All right. What do you so then? As far as snooping goes, what are you looking for?
I'm just trying to see why she's so fishy.
Yeah.
I hear she's got some interesting things in her room, so I'm trying to take a look.
All right. Yeah, I think
Why don't we
can-
work together on this, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
you can make me some kind of distraction tonight and I can get into the room?
I could do that.
All right. Well, I don't know how you're gonna. You probably need to go back empty-handed. I'm not going with you. They'll kill me. You seen that Swineville? You just mentioned it. He'll crack my neck.
Yeah. You said there was something you could give me earlier.
Yeah, I can. You take the uniform. Say that I ditched it when you grabbed onto me and you got that back.
All right. Sounds good. And I'll just say that fortunately you were just a little too slippery.
I am pretty slippery. That's believable.
Yeah. What was your name?
I don't know if we're quite on that level yet. What's your name?
Robert.
Oh man, you're not supposed to tell me. Fine, my name's
Robert
Siv.
Wong.
I'm not giving no last name.
And here's my address. You like my
I work for Galen Forscare.
You can just call me
Blood type.
Siv.
Siv?
slippery sieve?
All
All
right.
right, where am I meeting you tonight, Robert?
I mean, this is basically the first time I've been in this area. Is there a place that's a little more out of sight?
You know, to be honest with you, less of them work in the daytime, so the nighttime's a bit hot, but I know that priestess is out of her room during the nighttime because she gives some sort of preaching or something. So maybe
Right.
while she's doing her preaching, you can make me some sort of distraction. There's just a lot of them working at night.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
But
What
where
if we
do we
just-
meet ahead of time?
I think maybe by the outhouse.
Yeah, okay. Behind
Yeah.
the outhouse,
Yeah. You could be in the outhouse if you want.
just after sunfall, all right?
Yeah.
Like
Just
when it gets dark in the sky, not when the sun's going down.
When it's dark. I got
Okay.
it. I got
All right.
it.
Okay. Nice to meet
Okay.
you, Robert. Glad to do business with you.
Nice to meet you, Siv. Good luck.
She drops the uniform on the ground and then she's gonna go running off.
Great. I'll pick up said uniform and I mean, I think in this case, I'd like to take my I'd like to take my pistol out and shoot a little hole into it.
Shoot the girl as she runs away. You idiot.
You shoot a shot and you see her like flinch in the distance, and she looks back kind of confused, and then she runs faster.
And I'm gonna start heading back.
All right, excellent. Yeah, so I mean, you get back. Everybody's kind of watching nervously as you approach back, and Swine's just sitting there in the middle, arms folded. You get her? It looks like a pile of rags to me.
I tried to. She's slippery.
Let me see that. He's gonna rip it out of your clutches, and he's gonna look it over. You put a shot in this?
Yeah.
You didn't hit her?
Nah.
He's gonna go to punch you, Robert. You technically have a fast action. Are you gonna try to dodge, or are you just gonna take it?
Shoot him.
How many people are around?
So there's like a good dozen out and around like the courtyard here, the area.
Great. Okay. Yeah, I'll try to dodge it.
All right. You can either roll me a force to block it, or you can roll me an agility to dodge out of the way.
Force, absolutely. I want to try to block it. I want to try like it's almost like trying to catch his fist.
Okay.
Here we go.
Bad idea.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Did he fail? Failing's good.
I failed.
Yeah. So I mean, you go to block it, and you actually get like a pretty good block off, but this guy hits like a truck. Like you figure he could have maybe well snapped your neck if it just connected dead on your face. But still, he gets you pretty good. So you're gonna take a physical condition.
Okay.
And he just gets you with one big hit. You better next time.
Yeah, I got it.
Get back to work.
All right. Jeez. I'm gonna like as he's turning around, I'm gonna do like one of those this guy, right? To everyone else around.
Everybody like very nervously like shakes their head like, yeah. And with that, we have Constance and we have Katrina returning from the cave. Galen is finishing up his learning. Robert, you are in the middle of the ironworks. We will go ahead, and I think that we will call that a stream for tonight.
Okay.
That means next time we're off to dinner.
Next
Dinner
time,
party.
we are off to dinner.
Is it a masquerade ball?
I have
no,
masks.
definitely not.
Oh man.
Excellent. Well, thank you everybody for joining. Fun session, players. I loved that one. That was good stuff. Yeah, before we wrap up for the night, so this was we are playing Vaesen by Free League. This mystery is from the Seasons of Mystery book, which is very good. Highly recommend it. We'll be continuing this adventure next week. I think we're not canceling next week for any reason, right?
Don't think so.
That'd be good. Awesome. Yeah, so we'll be back next week. But before we depart tonight, let's give a shout out to all of our awesome players again. Why don't you tell us where you can be found on the internet? Anything you want to announce? We'll start with you, Bill.
Yes, I'm Bill. You can find everything I do at consumethismedia.com. So you can see Escape This Podcast, Solve This Murder. I don't think I have anything in particular to announce. Just go and listen to all the stuff that I do, I guess. That's it. I'm done.
A good podcast. It's fun stuff. Recommend.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill. Fun playing with you. Tori, you guys want to tag team talking about yourselves, Level 1 Geek? Any announcements?
No announcements from me. Just I'm at Tori Fika at Twitter if you want to give me a follow. Anything to add?
I will be guesting with Victory Condition Gaming this month, but I don't have set dates. I'm also looking for other people that want to play games with me for 2023. So hit me up. My Twitter is Anthrama Streams, or you can just find me on Discord.
Excellent. Good stuff. Thank you, friends. Matt, what about you?
Hey, I'm improv and D&D everywhere on the internet. Thank you so much for having me.
Always fun playing with you, Matt. Thank you. I am Chase, game master for this campaign, part of Level 1 Geek team, along with Katie, who's been running stuff behind the scenes. So thank you, Katie. We appreciate you. I guess random announcement, if you guys like watching us play in the Mythic North in the 1800s, I am currently running an ARC server in the Mythic North in the prehistoric period on the Fjordur map. If anybody would like to join that and come play on our private server, hit me up on Discord. Send me a direct message. I'll give you some details. We can get you joined in.
We're playing Ark. You didn't say the name of the game. So I'm
Oh,
just
did
gonna
I not
toss
say
it out
Ark?
there.
The name of the game.
Oh, my bad. I missed it.
Yeah,
It's Ark. We're playing
on the
dinosaurs.
Fjordur map.
Ark: Survival Evolved.
That's
Yeah.
the one. You can come tame some dinosaurs and do some exploring. It's a good time.
We
So,
go hard.
yeah, for sure. Aside from that, like I said, we'll be back next week. Any other announcements we want to cover before we wrap up? Tori, Em, we good?
I don't think so.
Excellent. Well, happy New Year to everybody. Happy 2023. It was good playing with y'all. Thank you so much for all the chat interactions and the love chat. We appreciate you as always. Now, everybody, go take a rest in 2023. Don't go picking fights with huge foremen at an iron company. You might lose that fight, unless you're Robert. And we'll catch you guys next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye. Goodbye.